everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're diving into all things Lilo and Stitch. It's a heartwarming story about family, told with typical Disney flair and including aliens. Whether you're a fan of the 2002 animated classic or you've jumped on the bandwagon for the 2025 live-action remake, we've got you covered. These videos are actually from our sister channel, Ms. Mojo, and if you love all things animated and Disney, be sure to check them out. Let's start by digging into the differences between Lilo and Stitch 2002 and 2025.
Stitch is back, alright.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're looking at differences between the original Lilo and Stitch and its 2025 live-action remake. Spoilers for both.
You sure that's a dog?
Yeah.
Rough.
Number 10. Experiment 627 tease. In the original, Dr. Jumba Jookiba said he'd never make more than one genetic experiment.
Create something? But that would be irresponsible and unethical. I would never, ever make more than one.
That turned out to be a lie. As we'd see later through various Lilo and Stitch spin-offs, Jumba made hundreds of experiments, Stitch being 626. While the first film doesn't get into Jumba's other creations, the remake hints that Stitch is only the tip of his ambitions.
Place that idiot scientist under arrest. I prefer to be called evil genius.
Feeling that Earth has turned Stitch soft, Jumba plans on upgrading him to Experiment 627. Introduced in Lilo and Stitch the series, 627 resembles his predecessor, but with a cone head, red exterior, and more destructive powers.
As all strengths of 626, none of weaknesses, does not sink in water, available in tasteful earth tone colors, and absolutely positively cannot be turned to good.
Where most of Jumba's experiments can be redeemed, 627 is the embodiment of evil. Yet he's not to be confused with Experiment 629, aka Leroy, Stitch's evil twin. Number 9. Portal guns. The Lilo and Stitch franchise has always been heavy on alien technology and weapons, most notably the plasma blaster. The remake introduces another nifty gadget, the portal gun. In addition to paving the way for an Ice Cream Man cameo, the portal device plays a key role during the climax.
No, wait!
It also guarantees that Lilo and Nani will never be too far apart, even when the latter goes to college. Of course, the portal gun does raise a few questions. Namely, why don't Jumba and Pleakley just make a portal into the Pelikai household at night and snatch Stitch while he's sleeping?
There's no instruments. There's nothing here.
And are you enjoying the hotel?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
I'm obviously being sarcastic.
Go! Systems go. Engage.
For that matter, why travel to Earth on a spaceship when you have portal technology? In any case, we get some funny sight gags. Number 8. More close calls. The remake raises the stakes with 2 near-death experiences.
What happened?
Some Lolo must have stuffed us in a barrel.
Where's Stitch?
Get off of her!
What happened?
Stitch dragged her down!
Like in the first film, the titular characters have a surfing accident when Jumba and Pleakley try to capture Stitch. This time, though, Lilo is rushed to the hospital. Lilo quickly rebounds, but Nani is left to contemplate whether she's truly capable of raising her sister.
I know you're trying, Nani, but you need to think about what's best for Lilo. Even if it removes you from the picture.
Stitch also has a close call during the climax when he nearly drowns. Although Stitch is practically indestructible, water is his greatest weakness. Unable to float, he sinks to the bottom of the sea like a rock.
He's unconscious, but I think he's alive.
Stitch is willing to sacrifice himself to save Lilo, but Nani comes to his rescue. It's a nice addition that displays Stitch's physical limits and emphasizes that no family member gets left behind.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten.
Number 7. New Neighbor. In the animated version, Nani takes care of Lilo on her own with some occasional help from David, her friend/sorta boyfriend.
Hey, I might not be a doctor,
But I know that there's no better cure for a sour face than a couple of boards and some choice waves. What you think?
Although David remains essentially unchanged, the remake introduces his grandma Tutu, played by Amy Hill. Living near Lilo and Nani, Tutu becomes something of a surrogate grandmother to the sisters, helping out when she can.
What is that? A dog, I think. Looks like some kind of baby bear that come out of the trash.
While this character is new to the franchise, Hill is no stranger to Lilo and Stitch. In the 2002 film and subsequent series, she voiced the local fruit stand operator, Mrs. Hasegawa.
I can't talk now, dear. I'm waiting for someone to answer my ad. That's why I'm here.
Tutu plays into the film's overarching theme of Ohana, showing that family isn't restricted to blood relatives. It can extend to a neighbor who looks out for you or an alien you adopt as a dog.
So many of the most unusual stray cats come to live with me here. But I don't mind. They keep me company.
Number 6. Stitch's adoption. Stitch's arrival on Earth plays out pretty much the same, although he wreaks havoc at a wedding before getting run over this time. Thinking his crashing ship is a shooting star, Lilo wishes for a friend, which Nani overhears.
A shooting star! I wish for a friend. Like a best friend.
In the animated feature, this prompts Nani to take Lilo to the animal shelter, where she adopts Stitch. Nani isn't present in the remake's adoption scene, however. Instead, it's Tutu who allows Lilo to visit the shelter where she encounters Stitch. The decision to adopt a dog is more spontaneous, with Nani later learning about Lilo's new pet.
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility. Got it.
We promise.
Yeah.
The remake also glances over the bit where Lilo pays $2 for Stitch, which plays a more important role in the original.
Hey! 3 days ago, I got Stitch at the shelter. I paid $2 for him. See the stamp? I own him. If you take him, you're stealing.
Number 5. Disguises. One of the original's funniest running jokes sees Jumba and Agent Pleakley trying to pass themselves off as humans by wearing everyday outfits.
You can't shoot, and you can't be seen. Look at you! You look like a monster. We have to blend in.
Apparently, this is enough to make people overlook Jumba's 4 eyes and Pleakley's cycloptic nature. In the remake, they instead make copies of human bodies, blending in as Zach Galifianakis and Billy Magnuson. That's one way to keep the visual effects budget under control.
He's not a pet. He's dangerous.
Dangerously cute.
While Magnuson in particular has the energy of a cartoon character, we do miss seeing Pleakley in drag. When asked why Pleakley doesn't wear a dress in his film, director Dean Fleischerkamp simply said, "I tried," revealing what appears to be unused concept art. Isn't it weird how 2002 feels more progressive than 2025?
I have had people message me, why is Pleakley not wearing a dress? And I just want to say, I tried.
Number 4. Cobra Bubbles. Cobra Bubbles is an enigma when he arrives in the animated film, looking more like a secret agent than a social worker. As it turns out, Cobra used to be with the CIA, meeting the Grand Councilwoman at Roswell in the 70s.
You look familiar.
CIA, Roswell, 1973.
Ah, yes. You had hair then.
He also saved Earth by convincing the aliens that the planet was a mosquito nature reserve. The remake keeps most of these elements, but switches them around. Cobra is still working for the CIA, tracking down Stitch after his ship crashes.
Agent Cobra Bubbles, we have a blue dog to catch.
The social worker assigned to the sisters' case is a new character named Mrs. Kikoa, played by Nani's original voice actress Tia Carrere.
You play a social worker trying to get Nani back on track.
Yeah,
right?
in the first one I'm like, please don't take my sister away, social services, and now I'm the social services lady trying to take her away.
Oh no!
Cobra later goes undercover as another social worker to infiltrate the Pelikai household, eventually deciding to help the family. Number 3. Captain Gantu MIA. The most prominent character missing from the remake is Captain Gantu, the Grand Councilwoman's right-hand alien.
The mission is in jeopardy. This could be your chance to redeem yourself, Captain Gantu. How soon will you be prepared to leave?
Immediately.
When Jumba and Pleakley struggle to bring in Stitch, Gantu is tasked with getting the job done. Gantu not only fails, but also endangers humans in the process, resulting in his dismissal from the Galactic Federation.
Grand Councilwoman, let me explain.
Silence! I am retiring you, Captain Gantu.
This sets Gantu up to become a major antagonist in future stories, teaming with Jumba's former partner, Dr. Jacques von Hamsterville, and Experiment 625, aka Ruben. It's unclear why the remake scrapped Captain Gantu, although we can't help but wonder if it was a budget issue. The film only cost $100 million, significantly less than some other Disney remakes. Maybe they just couldn't afford to have another entirely CGI character.
The Council has banished you to exile on a desert asteroid. So relax, enjoy the trip.
Number 2. No redemption for Jumba. Gantu isn't present, but the remake needed somebody to fill that void in the climax. This is where Jumba comes in.
His only instinct to destroy everything he touches!
So it is a monster.
Hey, just a little one.
Aside from lacking a Russian accent, Jumba has no redemption arc here. In the original, he engages in combat with his creation, destroying Lilo and Nani's house.
Look, we're close. Wait, it's moving. Come on. Let's go, we gotta go.
Oh, look, it's the Grand Councilwoman.
Don't answer that, Councilwoman. Not now.
When Gantu takes Lilo, though, Stitch convinces Jumba to help rescue her. The remake's Jumba isn't so easily persuaded. He's colder, viewing attachments as a weakness. After capturing Lilo, Jumba is taken in and escorted back to space. The OG Jumba receives a much happier fate, remaining on Earth with Pleakley, where both become members of Lilo and Nani's family. We guess the remake also shoots down the theory of Jumba and Pleakley being a couple.
Well, it looks like we have all the rings here today. The wedding ring, the suffer ring, and the torture ring. Oh, what a joyous day.
Number 1. Nani's ambitions. Nani remains a dedicated sister trying her best to be a mother to Lilo.
They were really good parents.
Hey, I changed my mind.
What's that?
I like you as a mom, too.
The remake provides more background details about Nani, however. In addition to fleshing out her experience as a surfer, it's revealed that Nani aspires to be a marine biologist. She even gets into her dream university. After tragedy strikes, though, Nani makes Lilo her top priority. At the same time, Nani questions if she's what's best for Lilo.
I like you better as a sister than a mom.
Yeah?
And you like me better as a sister than a rabbit, right?
Oh. Yes, I do.
She seriously considers letting social services step in, potentially giving her sister a better life. In the end, Tutu steps up to help raise Lilo with additional assistance from Cobra, David, and Pleakley. This allows Nani to attend college, but thanks to the portal gun, commuting has never been easier.
What about Ohana?
He hasn't been here that long.
Neither have I. Dad said Ohana means family.
Huh?
Ohana means family. Family means
Nobody gets left behind.
Or
forgotten.
What did you think of these changes? Let us know in the comments.
Sometimes things have to change. And maybe sometimes they're for the better.
So have you seen both the animated Lilo and Stitch and the live-action remake? What did you think of those changes we mentioned? If you're a purist who loves the animated version and only the animated version, let's see if you spotted these 10 things only adults notice in Lilo and Stitch.
Naughty!
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the details, plot points, and other factors that we only stitch together as adults.
Poor man, chicken! Oh, leave my mother out of this!
Number 10. Lilo's Picasso era. Stitch might not be the biggest appreciator of other people's belongings or their art. At least not when he first moves in.
No! That's from my blue period. There. You know, you wreck everything you touch.
As he tears the painting on Lilo's easel, you may have noticed she calls it part of her blue period. Now, she might have meant blue as in sad, but the art buffs among us know she's not the first to use that term.
His use of blue as catharsis would last 3 years. He would depict a broad range of subjects and themes, all of which were related to despair, loneliness, melancholy, poverty, old age, and, of course, death.
Unless your parents raised you in art galleries, you might have missed the nod to Pablo Picasso, who also had a blue period marked by a few years of moody blue and blue-green paintings inspired by grief and struggle. Although we wonder if Picasso ever went full Godzilla on his creations.
No more caffeine for you.
Number 9. One for the UFO enthusiasts out there. You can't really have a film about extraterrestrial beings without brushing up against some of the folklore, mysteries, and myths that come with the territory.
Where will he exit?
Calculating now. Quadrant 17, Section 005, Area 51. A planet called ER.
Case in point, the sisters are frequently visited by one very serious man in black. Turns out he's had prior run-ins with aliens. He even tells the Grand Councilwoman that this isn't their first meeting.
You look familiar.
CIA, Roswell, 1973.
Ah, yes. You had hair then?
The Roswell incident refers to a 1947 event in which a rancher near Roswell, New Mexico, discovered strange debris on his land. Stuff unlike anything he'd ever seen. Agent Cobra Bubbles might have popped up in the area years later because that's when Roswell lore really took off and became a cornerstone of UFO mythology.
The incident sparked a UFO scare and inspired decades of science fiction movies. Then, 50 years after the incident, the Air Force released a report admitting that the wreckage was part of a secret system of atomic espionage. But for real believers, this is just another cover-up.
Number 8. Agent Marcellis Bubbles Wallace. Cobra Bubbles might seem like he fits right in with the Men in Black, but he actually shares more with a certain powerful, no-nonsense crime lord from LA.
This is Mr. Bubbles.
Nice to meet you.
Your knuckles say Cobra. Cobra Bubbles.
Put them side by side and you'll spot a few similarities, but the voice really gives it away. Both characters are played by Ving Rhames, and word is his 1994 role helped inspire Bubbles during the early development stages.
I've grasped that, Jules. All I'm doing is contemplating the ifs.
That said, the similarities pretty much stop there. One's an intimidating former CIA agent turned social worker, and the other runs a criminal empire. Still, it's a fun and clever nod to Rhames' range and how a voice can shape a whole character.
I'm the one they call when things go wrong. And things have indeed gone wrong.
Number 7. Lilo turns the tide on tourism. Travel is a privilege and often an eye-opening one, but who hasn't cringed at those tourists who treat locals like part of the scenery?
It's nice to live on an island with no large cities.
It's like barging into someone's home with no regard for how they live or what matters to them. Lilo definitely had her fill of that type, and she's made turning the tables a bit of a pastime.
Oh, my camera's full again.
In a deleted scene, she wryly mocks clueless visitors, poking fun at how they see her, her land, and her culture, even stirring up a little panic. It's a big subject to cover in a kids' movie. Some will laugh in recognition, others might feel a tad sheepish. Either way, it's some great irreverent commentary.
If you lived here, you'd understand.
Number 6. How Lilo and Stitch brought the ink back to life. Back in Disney's early days, watercolor images were standard. Until newer, faster technologies took over.
Watercolor was used for the backgrounds, never for the characters. Because even in Pinocchio and Bambi, the characters are from the drawings, hand-inked on these cells, on these clear cells.
But Lilo and Stitch became one of those rare films for which watercolors were brought back from retirement to give that bright, storybook feel and create a visual link to classic Disney.
You have to be a dynamite artist with lots of experience to do that. The watercolor thing is just something would give it like a new edge because it hadn't been done. It just hasn't been done before.
Although the filmmakers soon learned that painting every lush Hawaiian backdrop by hand was no small feat. The team even traveled to Hawaii to capture the scenery just right. The result was a, quote, dreamy yet tactile look that made the world feel real but a little magical too. As kids, we were too busy laughing at Stitch's antics, but as adults, we get it. This film is a work of art, literally.
We had Rick go away and do identical paintings, one in gouache, replicating the watercolor look, and the other in watercolor. And there was absolutely no comparison.
Number 5. David's dedication to Nani. As kids, our hearts probably fluttered for the perfectly coiffed hair and charming smiles of Disney princes, but with adult eyes, the appeal shifts.
Don't worry. She likes her butt and fancy hair. I know. I read her diary.
She thinks it's fancy?
David Kavena embodies a more grounded, relatable ideal. A supportive partner, a kind soul, and someone who embraces the messy realities of life. He likes Nani, but never pressures her. He's that dependable friend she can lean on when things get tough, and he'll do anything to help her with no expectations.
Hey, I might not be a doctor, but I know that there's no better cure for a sour face than a couple of boards and some choice waves. What you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Yet he also knows when to give her breathing room. He also seems to love Lilo like a little sister. Plus, he's a talented fire dancer. All that packed into a surfer's body. Oh, like you didn't notice.
Lingering in the ocean blue, I'd surf till the sun sets beyond the horizon.
Number 4. Lilo and Stitch's special connection. Before these two ever met, it was practically written in the stars that they should find each other. Or should we say in the bite marks. After Stitch bites Captain Gantu, he worries he might need medical attention.
Does this look infected to you?
Meanwhile, light years away, Myrtle voices a similar concern after her altercation with Lilo. Both also share similar ways of handling situations when they feel trapped, but perhaps the most telling sign lies in their names.
Does it have to be this dog?
Yes, he's good. I can tell.
Lilo has a few meanings in Hawaiian, including generous and lost. Lilo is incredibly generous to Stitch, making him part of their family, but she's also a lost soul, until Stitch comes along. Or should we say, until he stitches her life back together.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Number 3. A love letter to Polynesian culture. Today, Disney's known for being pretty thoughtful in how it represents different cultures, but that actually started earlier than you might think.
What are you doing?
It's incredible. This amazing shell, it's called what? Kahelelani. And he found like 18 the first time, and I'm gonna find one now.
Lilo and Stitch is set on the island of Kauai and centers on local Hawaiian characters and their real-life challenges. The filmmakers actually visited Hawaii multiple times, studying its landscapes, traditions, and people.
I went to see a hula master, which was arranged for me by the folks at Disney. And for those who have not been in touch with the Hawaiian culture with regard to hula, it's a very serious part of their culture.
They worked closely with cultural experts, incorporating everything from history and traditions to the rhythms of everyday island life. Music and dance is a big part of the story, and if you know hula, you'll definitely catch the care they put in.
Step, 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 step. That's all we're doing, okay? Remember to only get right, left, right. 1, 2, left, right, left.
Also, check out David's necklace. It seems to be a nod to Polynesian mythology, specifically one that would make a big Mickey Mouse-shaped splash years later. Number 2, and Sister of the Year goes to... Sometimes it's not until we've grown up that we realize just how much our guardians did for us, and how much we put them through.
I like you better as a sister than a mom.
Yeah?
And you like me better as a sister than a rabbit, right?
Yes.
Nani's barely an adult herself, but after losing their parents, she becomes Lilo's sole carer, making sure there's food on the table, a roof over their heads, and keeping child services at bay.
I'm adjusted. I eat 4 food groups and look both ways before crossing the street, and take long naps, and get disciplined?
Scrump might be the unofficial mascot for how little they have, but Nani works her heart out to give Lilo a real childhood. And those surfing trophies in her room seem to quietly hint at a life she put on pause to take care of her sister. Here's to the Nanis in our lives. Go hug yours.
One fond embrace, aho ia, oh, until we meet again.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Pleakley's Half Viewmaster. If you know how those things work, you'll realize Pleakley never sees the full picture.
Are they intelligent?
No, but they're very delicate. In fact, every time an asteroid strikes their planet, they have to begin life all over. It's fascinating, isn't it?
What happened to experiments 1 through 625? We eventually found out the answer in the spin-off series, but Jumba's lying through all 4 of his eyes.
Create something? But that would be irresponsible and unethical. I would never, ever make more than one.
Lilo's horrifying connections. If you hear Lilo say 7 days, you're in major trouble.
7 days.
Number 1. The significance of Lilo's sandwich routine. Sure, Lilo's a bit of a handful, but kids typically don't act out for no reason, and she's no exception. She and Nani have been through the unimaginable, losing both parents unexpectedly and suddenly facing the very real threat of being separated.
Lilo! Do you not understand? Do you want to be taken away? Answer me!
Nani's doing everything she can to hold things together, but it often feels like the world's against them. One early moment says so much. Lilo insists she was late to hula because she had to feed Pudge, the fish she believes controls the weather.
Because I had to go to the store and get peanut butter, because all we have is stinking tuna!
Lilo, why is this so important?
Pudge controls the weather.
It sounds quirky until we learn how her parents died. Suddenly, it clicks. That's grief talking. And honestly, once you realize that, you just want to hug her forever.
That's us before. It was rainy, and they went for a drive.
So is Lilo and Stitch the Disney live-action remake that redeems all of the iffy ones? Or is this more of the same? A cash grab that we really didn't need? I mean, without Pleakley and drag, I don't even know what we're doing here, honestly. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into Lilo and Stitch. See you next time. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.